and I have run out of feeder relics. So at the end of this video, I'm going to open all of my bronze and silver chests because I don't have any left to feed. And I don't know how many I have, but we'll open all of them. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at a relics tier list and show you exactly which relic to upgrade for both Infinite Gauntlet and Team Wars and which monsters to put them on, because that's a really common question. It's really important to upgrade and focus on the right relics because we have a limited amount of fodder relics and a limited amount of relics to craft, and also for some people a limited amount of food to feed their relics. Before we get stuck in today's video, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell button so you can grow in monster with gems, stardust, diamond relics, race monsters, legendary wars, and more. Welcome to Wubby Gaming, the place where gamers grow. So the Relics category chest 4-day event is on, and every single month we get this 4-day period where you get 20% extra experience when you are feeding your relics. So this is the only time you should be upgrading your relic. So this is what my relic collection looks like right now. I do have most of the diamond relics, and I have a few that I use a lot, ranked up to 40, and hopefully we can rank up a few more of these. So I'll walk you through my thought process and how I choose which ones to rank up. Okay, let's head over to our relics tier list, which I've created just for you guys. So this video is going to focus on endgame relics. So the relics that are going to help you the most and the relics that you want to focus on. But if you're not at the endgame and you're sort of still growing your account, then I also have some guidance on how to get relics, which relics to focus on, and if you can't afford the diamond relics, what their gold equivalents are, because the gold ones are actually quite good as well. All right, here we go. On this list are the only relics that you should be upgrading. There are other relics that are okay, which are good if you're still building up your account, but those aren't the best ones to focus. So focus only on these ones. The darker the color, the better. The bigger the tick box, the better. And if it's blue, then it's really good for Infinite Gauntlet, War, and PvP. And if it's yellow, then it's only good for War and PvP. So my recommendation is always focus on your Infinite Gauntlet monsters first, because that's going to help you grow your account the most. If I were to recommend only 4 relics, I would recommend the dark blue ones: Sherazar's, Uriel's, Gazetteur's Mask, and Pumpseed Staff. If you can only upgrade 4 relics, get those and upgrade those. When you are upgrading your relics, what you want to do is level them at a similar level. The relics that I'm using a lot, they're rank 40, and the next bunch of relics, they're all around rank 35 because they're still pretty good. And then the TB loader I've got at rank 30, so they're the ones that don't need as much leveling, or I don't use them as often. Now let's have a look at how this chart actually works. So what I've done, instead of having the really long description of what the relic does, I've sort of categorized up the top in dark purple the purpose or the function of the relic, so you can have a really quick snapshot of what they do. In this first column, remove stamina. All of these relics will help you remove stamina off a monster. And in Infinite Gauntlet, that's really important, which is why so many of these are blue. The other categories, hopefully they're quite self-explanatory. Revive, only Uriel's essence can do this, so that's reviving your monster. Give stamina means like you can give your monsters more stamina to play with. Increased stamina is like a permanent increase to the max stamina that you have. So anything that gives you stamina or removes stamina or helps you revive, they're all perfect for your deniers, especially your fast deniers or your extra turner deniers. The next set are mainly for your tanks. So these are ones that give armor, heals your life, or increase life. So apart from someone like a Bombardier where you want to tank, these aren't that useful for Gauntlet, but they are very, very good for War. And the last 2 columns increase your attack power, because in PvE, so when you're doing something like Infinite Gauntlet, or maybe this new boss mode that's coming out, the monsters have so much life that you can't really kill with raw damage. So that's why you have to rely on torches and dots and kill them over time, which is why deniers are so important in this kind of meta. And the attackers have fallen off a little bit, but the attackers can still sort of 1-shot or 2-shot monsters in Team Wars, and that's where the attackers do shine. So all of this in the far right column, increase power or deals damage, they just help you finish off monsters faster. But the thing with attackers is if the attacks don't get a turn because the deniers are denying them, then those relics actually don't get to make much of a difference. So let's go through each of these relics one by one and call out some specific examples for monsters that they are really good at. So I'm going to do the Infinite Gauntlet ones first and then circle back to the War one. So the first one we have is Sherazar's Amulet. This would be in my top 2 relics for Infinite Gauntlet alongside Uriel, because Uriel's and Sherazar will actually win you nodes in Infinite Gauntlet. They are that important. So the thing that makes Sherazar's Amulet really powerful is it removes 180 points of stamina off enemies that you damage. So any monster like a Kodama or a Varapapu, where they deal area of effect damage, and they can do this over multiple turns, will basically keep enemy monsters drained of their stamina and they can't attack except for ults. On someone like Kodama, it's even more powerful because the Sherazar's combined with Jazzy Mask will do a full stamina drain of 280 stamina. The next dark blue one is Uriel's Essence. So if we look at Uriel's Essence, when your monster dies, it revives and it comes back to life. So this is super important for Shelly, because Shelly is the only Megaton in the game that has the Essence relic slot and can come back to life as soon as she dies. Uriel's Essence is also super important when you're running the triple Uriel strat in Infinite Gauntlet. So basically this is having 3 monsters with Uriel's Essence essence, and the enemy monster will kill all 3 of you, but you all come back to life and then do your thing. So it's really important on monsters like Lindworm, Black Feather, Tobora, where they do have the essence slot and can come back to life. Euros is also really good on monsters that have resurrection. The monsters like Wormlad or Lonrad, because the chances of the resurrecting are much higher. If you could only have 2 relics for Infinite Gauntlet, get a Uriel's and get a Sherazard's. They are both craftable. The next important relic we have here is Jazzator's Mask, or I call it Jazzy Mask, because Jazzator is hard to pronounce, man. So Jazzy Mask removes stamina on enemies if the target is above 75%. So this one is a little bit tricky because it's the enemy that has to be above 75%, not your stamina, the enemy stamina. That took me forever to work out. And the useful thing about Jazzy Mask is that you actually get 3 turns. This combined with something like a Sherazard's Amulet or a Pump Seed Staff will do a full stamina drain. The second use of Jazzy Mask is to actually replenish your stamina. So you can see at level 35, it gives you 198 points of stamina back to the wearer. So that's really useful on monsters that don't run out of stamina. So I use this all the time on Kodama and Tobora especially. And the last dark blue we have here is Pump Seed Staff. Pump Seed Staff is really strong both in Infinite Gauntlet and in Wars. It removes 180 points anytime you do an attack. So it's really useful on a monster like an Aerobat. And it really shines in War as well because most of the time your Denier isn't going to be one shot. The next one we have here is Taney's. So Taney's Amulet is really useful because it replenishes your stamina. This is useful for any Denier where you're not using Sherazard's Amulet. I often have it on Black Feather. Black Feather runs a bit low in stamina for me, and I don't really use Black Feather's attacks that actually do damage. The 2 light blue ones here are Morg's Armor and Iguanosaur. They just give you extra armor and also do some damage. So those ones aren't actually that useful in Infinite Gauntlet, but in Team Wars, it basically acts as like an extra life rune. And Thetis Armor is actually quite useful in Infinite Gauntlet, especially when you are baiting. So how Thetis works is that if the enemy monster is above 75% stamina, then they will lose a lot of stamina. So this is really useful if you put it on someone like a Bombardier or an Ignis, because the enemy monsters will attack you and then they'll lose a lot of stamina. Next one here is Witch Cat's banner, which is the new banner. Right now it's situation, and the only monster it's really useful for on right now is Witch Cat herself. So it's really useful on Witch Cat because Witch Cat does nightmares to begin with, and if they have nightmare, it removes 180 points of stamina from them. So they basically stay stamina drained forever. And Zyron's Essence gives you stamina if you're below 50%. So I use this on Tobora quite often. So what I recommend here is on attacks, if you want some extra stamina, then you can run Zyron's Essence. This is both in Infinite Gauntlet and in Team Wars, but on defense, it's probably better to run a defensive relic, and in the Essence slot, that's going to be Uriel's Essence. Iltron's and Watts Mask are used more for Team Wars, but they do help in Infinite Gauntlet as well because they can drain the stamina from enemy monsters. Iltron's removes massive amounts of stamina from enemy attackers, so it's really good on any tanks like Daedalus or any monster that will absorb attack. So these really shine on defense in Team Wars because the enemy can't get around it, they have to hit you. So as a defensive mask, Iltron's is super good because not only does it remove stamina, it also gives you armor when you're below 50%. Watts' mask is similar to Iltron's mask, but it's a bit more situational. So if you're below 50%, you get life back, and if you're under a control status, which is possessed, stunned, or frozen, then it removes 214 points from all enemies, not just the attacker, but all enemies. So this is super useful in the current war, for example, where you're coming up against a Varupapu. Varupapu can only stun or freeze. So if Varupapu wants to attack, you're going to remove 200, 300 from all your enemies, which is massive. Mask is the only gold relic that I recommend because it is unique. So the first thing it does is it increases your max stamina by 135. It's the only mask that increases your max stamina. And the second thing is a nice bonus as well, because if you're below 50%, you get a bucket of stamina back too. The next one here is Wang Zhao Shield. Wang Zhao Shield has a small tick because it removes stamina, but you have to get hit. And when you're in Gauntlet, you don't want to get hit, but it is very useful in Wars where you will get hit on someone like a Shelly. And the last 2 blue ones here are traps, Mantis Claw Trap and Nebulines Trap. They both are quite similar in that when your monster gets hit, it removes stamina. The Mantis Claw Trap, I actually just started upgrading. If your monster is below 50%, then it removes stamina off the enemy monsters and also deals some bonus damage. Nebulines Trap is similar, where if you're below 50%, it removes stamina from all enemies. So I prefer Nebulines Trap because it removes all enemies versus Mantis Claw Trap, which is only one enemy. And when you do Gauntlet, it's useful for any monster that has a trap relic. So anyone like Rotten or Henrik. Now let's go check out some of these gold ones, which I don't think are that useful for Infinite Gauntlet, but they are really good in Team Wars and PvP. So if you're wondering, the reason why dealing damage has small ticks is because it's more of a bonus. You're not going to be killing your enemies with these little bits of extra damage unless you get lucky. So the first one here is Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is like a beast of a banner. So at the start of battle, it increases your max stamina, and you also get 3 turns of stamina regeneration, which adds up to a lot of stamina. So this is pretty much much the go-to banner for any monster with a banner slot, especially any attackers with extra turns or monsters that need to cycle like a Madam Fusion. And on other monsters, it's just there because they hold a banner, such as Centira. Centira might never get a turn, but that increase in stamina at the start of battle actually helps out. The next one here is Darmis banner and Ingvar's banner. The Darmis banner is a little bit situational. It gives armor and fire protection to all allies, so anytime you know you're coming against the fire, it's good. And the other thing it does is it increases power, so it helps give you a damage boost. The Ingvar's is useful because it both gives you stamina and heals monsters. So across these three banners, I would probably rank Mr. Beast number 1, Ingvar's banner number 2, and Darmis number 3. Next is Talonese mask. You can see my Talonese mask isn't ranked up because I just don't use it, but it is useful because it is the only mask that helps protect all of your allies. The next two gold ones here are Vanos' shield and Roim shield. Vanos' shield is quite unique because it's a super attacking shield. The first thing it does is it gives you armor, which is helpful, and the second thing it does is it increases your power by 4,000 points, named after Vanos, and Vanos is one of the only attackers with a shield relic, so it's useful for any attacker with a shield relic, and it's also useful on any monsters like a Megataunt such as Shelly because it does help protect you as well. The Roim shield gives you armor and also does earth damage, so I put her Roim shield behind Vanos' shield because you don't really want to rely on your monster having to be attacked to do extra damage. Pain of Atlantis is a super duper staff. This is super useful for any monster that has extra turns. What's really good about Pain of Atlantis is it actually helps any ally. It's not just the wearer, but any ally when they're below 50%, they get extra stamina when it's your turn. And the last two relics we have on this list is Laser Beam and Cane Sword. Laser Beam is a great attacking sword. If you can only rank up one sword, rank up Laser Beams. After doing damage, you get some bonus damage. But what's more important is it increases your power. So that's almost like an extra strength rune. And you just put Laser Beam sword on any monster you want to do extra damage, especially the ones that hold two swords like Kaguya. Cane Sword is more of a defensive sword. If your life is below 50%, then it heals your monster by a good amount. The enemy monster is below 50%, it does some bonus damage too. Alright, so I'm gonna head into reliquary here. These are my top 3 relics in each slot, and the green ones are the ones that I want to upgrade, and the yellow ones are the ones that I want to upgrade later. I used to have Mantis at 1, it's now 10, and the ones that I want to upgrade is Jazzy Mask and Morg's armor. So the most useful one to me is going to be Jazzy Mask in Infinite Gauntlet right now. So I'm going to upgrade one of these to 40, and I've got another Jazzy Mask which is about, I think about 25 that I'm considering upgrading as well. So the first thing we will do is we're going to upgrade this to 40, and then I think we're going to actually upgrade this Mantis all the way to 35. Hades is one that I do want to upgrade in the future as well because it does give me stamina back. So let's go find our Jazzy Mask here. Here we go. So when you are upgrading the relics, you only want to use your bronze and silvers, and generally you want to use your golds and diamonds to craft other diamonds. Okay, so that's all bronze, which is good. Level up. 12 million food, which is fine. We have plenty of food. Okay, so we have a new max relic. And the second one we will upgrade is this Mantis Claw Trap, because I do like the combo of Mantis Claw Trap and Nabaline's Trap. So we'll take this straight to 30, maybe 35, we'll see. So we're still only using bronze and silvers, so I'm going to take it straight up to 35. Alright, let's go have a look back at our chart. I do use my second Morgs a lot, so I'm going to upgrade that one to 35 here. Because I don't want to be using any gold. So the furthest I can take it is to 33 right here. I think there's no gold in here. Yep. So we'll take our molds to 33, and that's pretty much all our relic. So that's pretty much all our relic crafting for another 4 weeks. Now it's time to reward ourselves for making a cool video and go and open some relics. Okay, I do need theater relics, so I'm just going to open all of these and hope we have good luck because we are making a video. Let's open the bronzes first. Bronze, expected, but not lucky. Let's see what we get for the rest of them. Okay, one silver. Diamond, 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 diamond. We want which cat banner? Which cat, which cat, which cat, which cat, which cat, which cat. Which cat, which cat, which cat, which cat, which cat, which cat. No golds yet. Which cat, 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 which cat. Closing eyes didn't help. Still getting a lot of bronzes. Here's our first gold. We want diamonds, not gold. Bronze, which cat? Which cat? Which cat? Oh. Got about halfway to go, I think. There's a couple more golds. Still no diamond. We want some more diamonds, please. But we have got, I think, 3 or 4 gold, which is decent. Which cat, which cat, which cat, which cat. I will also take Iguana Claw's armor because I don't have that one. Which cat, 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 have a gold. I will also take all masks. All masks or which cat? 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 That was a lot of silvers in a row. Which cat? Which cat? Ah, no which cat. But I think our luck was quite decent. No diamonds, but there's a lot of silvers and golds in there. So we're gonna go open all of our silvers now. So we're going for which cat still. Which cat? Nope. Which cat? 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 Cat? No gold. Wow. Which cat? Which cat? Which cat? 4 silvers. That's not lucky at all. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out one of these 2 videos over here. And if you think Wubby Gaming videos will help one of your friends grow, make sure to share with them as well. And I will see you next time.